Today I want to talk to you about Castle Ashby, a little village in Northamptonshire where, well, basically I grew up. I was baptised there, my mother and father, they were married there, my grandparents lived there. I lived there for a long time before I moved to the Middle East actually. But I grew up there as a child as well, staying at my grandparents' house. The church there has seen many weddings and funerals of the family and christenings, and so it's a very close little community, and it's a very it's a location I treasure as part of England. It is in central England. It's right in the heart of England. Northamptonshire is, and Castle Ashby village is in the southern part of Northamptonshire, so it is right in the heart of England. Castle Ashby is a small village of only about 120 people live in the village, and it's a village that was established to serve the ancestral home of the Marquis of Northampton. It is the ancestral home of the Marquis of Northampton. The whole estate has been developed over the years. So there is a working farm there owned by the estate, which takes up a lot of the landscape. But there's also, as well as the castle, and there's the castle grounds and gardens as well, which have been developed over the centuries to actually enhance the estate and make it what it is today. The house was built by Henry Compton, and it was developed initially to celebrate the reign of Elizabeth I. And the gardens were designed by a chap called Capability Brown, who basically was a renowned landscape gardener, and he, for a £50 fee, developed the plan first of all for the gardens, which I'm going to show you and take around now. These gardens are actually also the same gardens that I made a video when I walked around with some of my family, my sister and Richie and Mikey, during the, when was that? That was during the, was it Halloween, wasn't it? Yes. Was it Halloween? It was Halloween, yes. And we made a video for that one as well. So this is the gardens, and I'll just. Okay, here we are coming down the main avenue towards Castle Ashby House. This is, as I said, it's the ancestral home of the Marquis of Northampton. Quite a beautiful Elizabethan design manor house. On the left hand side, right on the left through the trees there, you can see what is known as the water tower. This has been a grand old house, and right in front of it is Castle Ashby cricket ground, where the cricket club. On the right is St Mary Magdalene's Church. Here it is. I was christened here. My mother and father were married here, and they are both now laid to rest in the graveyard here, as are my grandparents and other members of my family. It's a beautiful gardens that surround the house, and as I said, the gardens were designed by a gentleman called Lancelot Capability Brown, who this is the gentleman here, who did a design plan of the grounds for £50 back in the late 1700s, and commenced with the design towards a couple of years later. The grounds are absolutely amazing, as you'll probably have seen when I walked you around there in another video. This video is shot with a drone, so you're getting a sort of a broader spectrum of what is around, and that's why I thought I would show you this particular video. The Castle Ashby Gardens are really quite amazing and worth a visit in every possible way, even if for those of you who aren't landscape gardeners or don't like gardening, but just the walks and the sheer beauty of how they've been planned naturally. It's natural beauty, which is how they've been developed, with the water and the trees and shrubs and wildlife that are around. The gardens are open to the public, so you are free to walk around, and I think there are also some guided tours these days around the grounds as well, if you wanted sort of more information on the grounds. There's lots of places I remember here as a boy visiting some of these places, which are quite incredible, and Park Lake. I mean, there are a series of lakes all the way around the property. Now that's on the right hand side. There is Knucklebone Arbour. There it is, Knucklebone Arbour. It's called Knucklebone Arbour because the floor is actually being created and made with sheep's knuckle bones, amazingly enough. It's been there for centuries. Again, my grandfather worked on the estate. I mean, that's basically why it's sort of become our home, because we all grew up living on the estate and working on the estate. Well, we weren't working on it, but we were living there for quite an extensive period of our lives, and would always go back on holidays. And quite honestly, even when I was working in South Africa, working in the Middle East, working in the Far East, I would always find I'd be coming back to visit Castle Ashby and for walking around, because it was just a lovely place to come and just clear your mind and just get a perspective on life. It is real old England in every possible way. It is the England that one reads about in books, and you get that feel of England when you walk around it in every possible way. This is the fish ponds that lead all the way down to what is known down here as the Terracotta Bridge. No, it's just slipped out a shot there. I think we'll see it. We'll pick it up again now as this drone goes through here it is. This is the Terracotta Bridge, which separates the fish ponds from the main park pond or Park Lake. And there's a variety of fish. There's some pretty large carp in these lakes, and there is an angling club, and angling is very popular on the bottom lake especially. There is a small pub called the Falcon. It closed for a few years, or it's a little inn really, and it's due to open again quite soon. I don't know if it's still called the Falcon. I'll have to check with my sister and find it out. But it's always used to be a popular place for weddings and wedding receptions and things like that. I believe now wedding receptions are done in other parts of the grounds. All these scenes, they just remind me of when I used to walk the dogs around and walk everybody around for trips. People who come and visit me from other parts of the world are also taking for walks around here. This is the old boathouse. I remember that well, going around there with my grandfather. And that's the old ice house as well, where the ice used to be kept for the main manor house. But as you can see, the woodlands, the green fields, the lakes, the water, the church. It is a typical English village where nothing has changed in centuries. I mean, you actually get to Castle Ashby and it's like stepping back into the past, because nothing has changed in my whole lifetime. It is exactly as I remember it, sort of 60 years ago. Yeah, I think it's I'm going to be down there again next week actually to deliver some chairs to my sister. But I'm going to show you some other locations around the world I actually lived in as well, so you can get a flavour for that. This is just purely light-hearted entertainment I'm giving you now. So talk to you again soon. Bye bye.